Hello everyone, it's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're all happy. So today I'm working on day 2 of Junk Journal January, and day 2 prompt is quotes. So I have this paper here and it's from a Amity Bloom kit, and I absolutely love it, and I knew that I wanted to use it in my journal. I just love that floral pattern there, and so I decided that I would use that for my background of my quote. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trim it down so it will fit opposite or fit on that ledger paper there. And for Junk Journal January, I decided, because I have so much room in this journal, that I'm just gonna kind of go start at the beginning of my journal and work my way back. So it'll be, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, they'll all be consecutive instead of like flopping around like I usually do. So I went ahead and I typed my quote up, and I was thinking that I wanted to possibly put my quote in a frame, and I went through my frames and I found these overlay pieces, and they're kind of like, I feel like it would be best described as like tinted acetate almost, with some of them have little patterns and stuff on them. So I was like, I'll go ahead and use these so that that really pretty background paper will show through. So I typed my quote up, but I did not have enough space on the top to cover the whole acetate piece. So when I was holding it on there, my quote was kind of like on the top of the acetate piece. I'm sorry if there's background noise. My dogs are outside playing and they're getting a little rambunctious, so I apologize for that if you can hear it. And so I was kind of bummed, but I had already like typed my quote up 2 times, or 2 or 3 times really, started it, and I kept messing up on my typewriter, so I was like, I'm not going to type it again, I'm just going to roll with it. But I ended up deciding to just kind of scooch it down, the vellum piece that I typed it on, and the top part would be fine without the vellum, if that makes sense. So my quote says, it was something that I saw online and it just kind of spoke to me. And it says, whenever I see someone with an abundance of empathy, I want to ask what heartbreak they have endured, for compassion is often birthed in the valley of despair. Zoe Clark Coates. So it just spoke to me. I just felt like it was so true. And I've had it in my phone for ages, wanting to put it in my journal, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. So I was like, this is the perfect time. So I went ahead and just used my stapler to staple those 2 pieces together, and then I'm using my staple to put it on my paper as well. That's a little Tim Holtz tiny attacher. So it's like smaller, they're tiny little staples, so it works. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue that piece down. And that is my first quote. And then I wanted to do a quote that was more personal, I guess. Just more of a memory. And so I decided to use something that my daughter said recently that cracked me up. So my youngest daughter, she's 9, and she loves to fish. I've talked about it before, about her fishing. And not only does she fish, but she's just a water baby all the way around. And my in-laws have a house on the river, and she'll go there and just fish the entire time. And they go out on the boat and fish and all that. Fishing isn't really my I mean, it's okay, but it's not like, I don't wake up and go, oh yay, let's go fish. But she will literally wake up in her pajamas and go outside on the dock and start fishing first thing. So, but not only does she like to fish, she likes to watch other people fish on YouTube and stuff, little fishing videos. So, well, I'll continue that story later. Let me get back to what I'm doing here. So I had a little tag from Amity Bloom as well, and I wanted something that I could write my quote on. And I really like this tag because I felt like it was the same color palette as the background paper. And I like the tone of it, but I was looking for something to back it onto just to kind of make it stand out a little bit so it wouldn't quite get lost in the background paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just ink around this tag here just to give it a little pop. And then I went searching through a few different papers, and I ended up choosing that one because I liked the color. I just felt like it blended well together. And then I was like, well, I'll go ahead and do just a tad bit of stitching on here as well, just to give it a little bit of texture, so it's not just like a, you know, a printed tag that has, you know, a quote on it, just to dress it up just a little bit. And I've been trying to do a little bit more slow stitching, and I'm really liking it, just learning new stitches here and there. And I decided that I would do, I think it's called a blanket stitch, and I did mess up in a couple of places, but it's just for me, so it's okay. It's not a big deal. And I got a little mixed up when I first started, because I think when you're doing the blanket stitch, you have to come from the back side of your loop and not go forward, and I think I went forward the first time, and then I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm supposed to go from the back. But I was like, I'm just going to poke my needle through here, but that that wasn't working. So then I pulled out my Tim Holtz ruler, and it has little holes in it, and I just kind of dotted some holes, and I was like, I'll just do it that way, but that wasn't working either. So then I pulled out my little mat and my awl and used that to give me some somewhat decent straight holes, evenly spaced holes to do my stitching with. And I was just going to do the bottom of the tag. I had thought about going all the way around it, but I decided against it because I was like, oh, that'll probably take forever, especially if I have to, you know, poke all the holes. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to spend on it, so I just did the one bottom piece. And then at the very end, when I was pulling my thread, I ended up ripping it, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I went to like put it to the side to do something else, and then I was like, you know what, I put ripped stuff in my book all the time, so I'm just gonna roll with it being ripped a little bit, and it worked out good. I'm glad that I didn't toss it. So yeah, so like I said, I'm just kind of doing a really wonky blanket stitch, but I do like the way that looks. I like it. And like I said, it adds a little bit of texture to it and dresses it up a little bit. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, so I ripped it, and then I was like, oh, like I said, I was like, oh man, what am I put it aside. I was like, I'm not going to use it. And I was like, wait a minute. What am I thinking? I'll just throw some ink on there and it'll look like it's supposed to be there. I did it on purpose. So now I'm just going to kind of back it on this straw paper. And that's paper that I got from Rachel over at Roxy Creations. And it was just the perfect tone to go with the tag and the background paper and my photo. And I'm going to use my ruler so that I have the torn edges. Just because I didn't want it to be, you know, nice straight edges, because it's not, I mean, she's fishing, you know, it's kind of more of a, I don't really know how to explain. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. So, I really like how that looks, and I was also thinking that I was going to use my photo as the pocket itself so that I could do my story on there. So the quote is about one day when I was driving the kids to school, she says to me, "Mom, did you know that some sort of catfish can grow to 10 feet tall?" She said the man-eating catfish can grow to 10 feet tall or 30 feet tall. I was like, that doesn't sound right. I think it may be 10 feet because 30 feet is like really big. It sounds like it would be the size of a whale. And she goes, "Well, I'm just glad it's a man-eating catfish and not a woman-eating catfish." And I just cracked up. It was so funny. So it's kind of been a little joke in the house about these man-eating catfish. And she's just so glad that they're man-eating catfish and not woman-eating catfish. I didn't have the heart to tell her. I still haven't told her. But, yeah, so I wanted to document that quote just because it was so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and I used my little tape gun there to put my photo down, but I didn't tape on all 4 sides. I left the right side open so that I could journal my story and tuck that underneath the photo. And I kind of felt like I wanted my tag to have a little topper on there too, just because I had stitching on one end, and I was like, well, I'll go ahead and throw a piece of something on the top. And I just used my glue stick to glue it down because I'm going to tape it anyway, so I know it's not going to go anywhere. Kids just say the funniest things, man. They just say funny, funny things. Never a dull moment. So yeah, so that sticks down pretty good, and I like how that looks. I like how it flows with the left page to the right page. I feel like they complement one another. And then I had this little sheet of paper that I had pulled out to use as maybe a backing for my tag, but it didn't work. But I liked it. I liked the pattern, and again, I felt like the colors went. So I'm just gonna make a quick little no fuss journaling card with some of that paper and some old ledger paper. And I gotta cut it down because it's a little bit too big. And I'm just going to use my ruler to tear it. For now, anyways. So if you're doing Junk Journal January, how are y'all doing with your prompts? I'm enjoying it very much. I feel excited, and I'm happy that I'm actually back in my journal. And I'm happy that I have a little crafting buddy that's going to be with me. She was here crafting with me when I was doing this, so we were chit-chatting with one another, and it was nice. So when I stuck my my journaling card in there, it was a little bit, I wouldn't say too short, but it kind of got lost underneath the photo. So I knew that I needed to put something on there just so that it would be known that there is a journaling card underneath there. And I was trying to figure out what I would do, and I decided to grab this piece of sari that is in a little dish above me. I've got these little dishes that have random pieces of fabric and bits in them. So I just grabbed a scrap out of there and decided that I would stitch it, scrunch it up and stitch it. And then that would be, you know, something that would be easy to grab onto and pull it out of there, because it's kind of flimsy. It's not really hard, you know. I'm sorry about the dogs. But when I tuck it under there, I was like, it works out perfect. I really like it. And then I grabbed my little Maggie Holmes sticker book, and I was going to look for something to put on my photo, but then I was like, you know, I'll go ahead and just throw some word stickers on this journaling card. and I said lovely dreams today because she looks like she's contemplating or daydreaming while she's fishing. So, yeah, she loves to fish. Her goal this past summer was to catch a shark, and she did, which is crazy. So I just put a little, like a little flag label there that says happy place with some washi. And that wraps it up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's pretty quick and easy, and I really hope that you guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.